The whole time he was telling me he loved me, he had another woman sitting right on his lap, and he gonna tell me that all the women he deal with, he has them in check, and they know when he on the phone with me not to say nothing.
She's the judge who gives rules on the law and life. She's intense with common sense. She's Judge Lynn Toller on Divorce Court, where real couples deal with real life. 24-year-old Miqueenise and 26-year-old Diette met 7 years ago on a local chat line. Soon after, they moved in together and had a son. But after only 4 months of marriage, they are ready to call it quits.
This man, he's a liar and he's a cheater.
I mean, I ain't cheated lately.
Miqueenise feels that if Diette wants to cheat, he shouldn't be married, and she's here to make that a reality. Today on Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toller presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Miqueenise, Weed, and Diette.
Yes.
Diette Weed, Mr. and Mrs. Weed, the two of you have been together for 7 years, but you have only been married for 4 months. And you are ready to run already.
Yeah.
Mrs. Weed, you are seeking $3,000 from Mr. Weed to cover the cost of some jewelry you say Mr. Weed stole from you, and also for pain and suffering. Okay? Now, Mrs. Weed, I'm going to start with you. After 4 months, what has happened that has made you want to leave Mr. Weed?
Well, Your Honor, this man, he's a liar and he's a cheater, okay? He is cheating on me with overweight women, and when I say overweight women, I mean 500 plus women that's overweight. He has a fetish for it. And he even has the nerve to call me a fat bee when he gets upset at me, but all you do is deal with big women.
Big
when
women.
You
He likes
cheat
big
on me.
women, but he's gonna call you
He
one.
has a fetish for big women. If she can't see your feet, the more the merrier for him, you know. Okay.
Now, well, Mr. Weed, first of all, everybody likes what they like, and big women need love too. So do you like big women?
Yeah, it's like it runs like most of the men in my family, they all love the big women. So, you know, it's like came through my genes and it's something I like.
Just genetically predisposed to that. Now, Mrs. Weed is healthy. Isn't that enough?
I mean, yeah.
I wasn't this size when I met him. I was smaller. I didn't gain 10 sizes since I've been with him.
Are you happy with the size that you are now?
I'm so depressed, it's not even funny. No, I'm sad. I'm not happy with my weight. I have small feet, small ankles. This weight is not for me. It's not healthy at all. It makes me tired.
Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Weed. Are you, in fact, cheating on your wife with other women, no matter the size?
I mean, I love plus-size women, so every woman I mess with has been a full-size woman.
That's not the question.
So, I mean, I ain't cheated lately.
Now, when you say lately,
no, that's not
put a time frame on that.
Lately, I say like probably like 5 months or so.
No, he promised me after we got married, for four months after we got married, he was gonna take his marriage serious. Cheating to me is flirting, conversating, sexual talk, because it leads to more.
Okay. First of all, let's make sure that's a very good point that we need to define what we mean by cheating. Are you saying to him he engages in intimacies but that don't involve touching, and you feel that that is cheating, or do you say he's going beyond that?
I feel like it's cheating. Why are you online telling another woman you love her and you can't wait to see her?
Are you on the internet
ago?
Talking to other women, being intimate with them and saying sexual things to them and about
we
them?
had conversation, but it's nothing. It's not like I want the women.
He tells me
I
it's
love
something
her.
to do.
If maybe she talked to me more often and had more conversation with me than the television, then I wouldn't be online talking to women.
You're saying that you're not getting enough attention at home, and as a consequence of that, you find other people to communicate with.
I talk to other women, and then I tell them what they want to hear, and that just be that.
But if I did it, it'd be a big problem.
Why would it be a big problem if you did it?
Because he wouldn't deal with it. It would upset him.
Well, you guys do realize that you're 24 and you're 26 and you've been together 7 years, so you guys have been together forever.
Yeah.
He's all I know.
Yeah. And a certain amount of cheating happens when you're 17, 18 because you don't know enough to maintain that relationship. So some of that you got to put a period on.
Right.
And not keep going back to. Have you put a period on it?
No, the last time I cheated on him was when I was 18 years old. I cheated on him after he cheated on me because I thought it would make me feel better, but actually it made me feel lower than dirt.
Right.
And it made me feel like 2 wrongs is not a right.
Mrs. Weed, let me ask you this. Do you have any evidence that would demonstrate to me he was cheating?
Yes, I do. I found text messages of him, and I have proof of it, of him telling another woman that she's the perfect woman in his eyes. I've been here for 7 years through thick and thin with this man.
First of all, there's cursing in here, and a lot of it. Mm-hmm. And then you said you did nothing wrong. You are the perfect woman in my eyes. You are a beautiful person and lovely. Did you say that?
I don't recall.
He never recalled anything. He never recalls anything, Your Honor. Nothing. It's something to do. You're leading her on. Why are you telling this woman you love her?
You arguing with this woman.
Yeah, I mean, she was talking some stuff. I don't remember the whole conversation.
She was claiming she was pregnant by him.
When divorce court continues, are there 2 sides to Diette?
I have never met a man like him. He's a good father. Mm-hmm. He's a good provider. Mm-hmm. He's romantic. Mm-hmm. He's great in the bed.
Do you wish you had listened to your mother? Are you ready to dump your mate? If you are, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com and become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt.
Divorce Court is back with the case of Miqueenise Weed, who is divorcing her husband because she claims he's cheating on her with 500-pound women. But has Miqueenise set herself up for marital failure?
Given his track record, Mrs. Weed, why would you marry him?
He went out of town for 2 days, okay? He called me literally talking to me on the phone for 3 hours. Come to find out a couple of days later, he's admitting to me that the whole time he was telling me he loved me, he had another woman sitting right on his lap, and he gonna tell me that all the women he deal with, he has them in check, and they know when he on the phone with me not to say nothing.
Mr. Weed, did that occur?
Yeah, it happened because we got into it, and I thought she wasn't gonna call. I was laying there with another female. I was in Saginaw.
You called me.
The girl, I told her to be quiet for a minute while I was talking to her, and we talked for a minute. But I did come back and let her know, though.
Wait a minute now. Were you married when this happened?
No.
Or this was beforehand. Given his track record, Mrs. Weed, why would you marry him?
Because I love him. This is the hard part that I'm dealing with. I have never met a man like him. He's a good father. Mm-hmm. He's a good provider. Mm-hmm. He's romantic. Mm-hmm. He's great in the bed. Mm-hmm. He's a spare of the moment type of man where you'll walk in and it's rose petals everywhere, gifts coming to the door for me. Mm-hmm. And then I'm battling with this other evil side of his infidelity. Like, I really believe that it's a sickness that he has. Like another incident, all back-to-back in months. His mother passed away of cancer. Mm-hmm. And then another month later, my father died in my arms, okay? He goes out, right, and come to find out, a woman he was calling just friends. He don't know how to just be friends and have a cordial conversation. It has to lead to other things. Come to find out, he didn't have sex with his mother in his dead mom's car.
No, I didn't.
She had passed away, and you're in her car cheating on me.
No.
Mr. Weed, when you were together with her for all those years, did you make an attempt to be monogamous and faithful, or you just didn't feel that that was really
I was
necessary?
trying to be faithful. I told her, you know what I'm saying? I told her my track record, how I was, and growing up and stuff. I grew up in a house full of women.
I have male friends who I talk to, but there's no intimacy involved. What I don't understand is it seems to me that your relationship to her does not at all implicate you stop having sex with other people, that you don't see one as eliminating the other.
I mean, but I just
he wants his cake and eat it too. He wants me to stand by his side.
I enjoy that conversation.
He wants me to stand by his side.
But I talk to Joe all the time. We don't say these kind of things to one another. There's nothing of this going on. There's conversation. You can have a whole relationship with a woman that does not involve any bad words, any all of that, and it doesn't seem to be. You don't seem to be able to limit yourself to that kind of conversation.
I started talking to that woman after I got put out. And
that's a liar,
I continued talking to her after we got married.
He was talking to this woman. I went to her house personally, woman to woman. I said, we need to sit down and talk. This woman knew every vehicle we own and described them inside and out. She told me she had been talking to him since May of last year.
Right.
This van I just got 3 days ago after you left.
So you have a woman that knows, who you don't know, who knows all the intimate details of your life, and you feel exposed and is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, and you know what he tells me? Oh, well, if you won't go, his motto is, if you won't go snooping, you won't find nothing out. You won't find nothing out to be upset. But women, I have an instinct, and I'm so close to him, I know when he's doing dirt. He's the type of man that he will go to his grave and lie about it unless you have hardcore evidence.
If you don't mention him in that, he's not going to give it up.
And even if he do, oh, that's nothing, it's just something to do.
When divorce court continues, has Diette gone off the deep end?
He done cut and snipped every cord in the car, bleached all my clothes, ruined all my plants, my makeup.
If you would like your case heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and follow us on Twitter @DivorceCourt. Divorce Court returns with the case of Miqueenise Weed, who says she wants to divorce her husband because he has a bad temper. But should Diette Weed pay for Miqueenis' family heirlooms?
And he takes all the jewelry that I was going to pass on to our son and threw it in a field.
You told me, you spoke very passionately about children in this, and I want you to explain to me what that situation is and how he's responded to it.
The situation was that we've been trying to have a child for 3 years, okay, and I've been amped up on hormones, doctor's appointments, every couple of weeks.
So you've been actively trying with medical assistance.
I'm just going through it. And when I did put him out and he was with the other woman, I had a miscarriage. And what hurt me so bad is a couple of days before we get married, I find out this woman is saying she's pregnant. So when I come to him and beg him to tell me the truth, he told me he wasn't gonna tell me about her until I said I found out by somebody else. I didn't say you, because of course you don't admit to anything. He told me that he was gonna tell me after we got married. So you were gonna put me in a situation that having to deal with a child for the rest of my life with another woman when you know I'm going to the doctors every couple of weeks, ultrasounds, hormones, and it hurt me to my heart. Because I've been trying so hard to think of another woman having this child. This woman turned my life upside down, literally.
Mr. Weed, what do you have to say about that situation? Is she telling me an accurate story about you knowing that you might have another baby out there somewhere and didn't tell her?
Yeah, I knew about that, and no, I didn't tell her because we wasn't on no good level because she was out doing what she was doing to hang with what she was hanging. I didn't know she had a miscarriage.
Mr. Weed, why did you marry Mrs. Weed?
I I love her for once, and I promised her I was gonna marry her, and I'm a man of my word, so I keep my word. And
I holding it off.
When did you promise her to marry her?
when we first got together, when I constantly fell on one knee and kept asking her to marry me.
Had you not made that promise, would you have married her 4 months ago as you did?
No.
Mrs. Weed, why did you want to marry him?
I don't know.
After he apparently has not even the slightest inkling of your feelings or a desire to make you feel good. He does whatever he wants to.
That's the thing. He makes me feel good in all the other ways I told you, but my big problem is the cheating and his anger. Like another crazy incident. I leave him at a club because I got upset. I come back to our only vehicle. He done cut and snipped every cord in the car, bleached all my clothes, ruined all my plants, my makeup, because I left him at the club because I seen him grinding on another woman, and I got upset and walked out.
When divorce court continues, will Diette take responsibility for mistreating Miqueenise?
Do you see how badly she feels? Not only about herself, about who she is, and you did that to her.
Divorce court returns in the case of Miqueenise Weed and Diette Weed, who are divorcing after only 4 months of marriage.
Tell me about the $3,000 you're seeking for from Mr. Weed, please.
It's for pain and suffering, Your Honor.
We both suffer pain and suffering.
What happened was my father came back into my life a year before he died. And that was when I was 20, because it's been a couple of years since he died. He died in my arms at the hospital. And the only thing I had left from him was the watches and jewelry and necklace on his neck that was all real. He gets upset about something really petty, and he takes all the jewelry that I was gonna pass on to our son so he could have a piece of his grandfather and threw it in a field.
Mrs. Weed, I'm gonna tell you something. I want you to listen to me. I want you to listen hard. I want you to listen well. I want you to, I want you to open your mind and just hear me. He's not capable of being a good husband to you. He can't do it. He's too immature. Life and marriage is all about doing the wrong thing, messing something up, losing something, making bad decisions, and the response to those bad decisions cannot be, how much can I hurt her? How much can I damage her? His immaturity is such that he cannot take imperfection on anybody else's part, and he has to pay back tenfold. That's who he is. That will not change. The flowers are meaningless. The rose petals are meaningless. The dinners, it's all meaningless when you have someone who seeks to hurt you with such great force and great response. Hey, take a look at her. Do you see what you did to the mother of your child? Do you see? Do you see how badly she feels? Not only about herself, about who she is, her size, her value, and you did that to her. Do you see that?
Yeah, I see it. But
do you feel badly about it?
Honestly, I don't, because I mean, I get so many sorries and see so many tears that, I mean, I got enough to give them back to her. So it's.
Did you hear what he just said?
So
he sees no point. Your dismay, your hurt means nothing to him. Just because he's all you know doesn't mean you can't do better, and sister, you can. Having said that, I will say this. I don't know how much that jewelry of your daddy's cost you, but I know he took it. I know he did it. $3,000 in favor of Mrs. Reed.
Really?
It is so worth it.
All rise! Parties may leave the courtroom.
Miqueenise reports that hearing her husband's testimony on the show only made her more determined to divorce. Shortly after leaving divorce court, Diette accused her of being a horrible wife and a bad mother. She feels Judge Lynn was right when she said she doubted that Diette was capable of being the husband that Miqueenise wanted and deserved.